everybody, this is Lisa in Connecticut, and yes, you're looking at the Urban Worm Bag, and it is upright again. I got my corner supports in the mail late yesterday. They are on, and Steve also included the new straps. On the website, these are described that if your bag is on an incline or on a ramp or on a hill, you use these to shore up the corner pieces, or square them up, I should say. And the directions say to put, top right to bottom left corner on 3 sides. So I did. There's 2 on that side. There's 2 on the back. There's only 1 here. And the reason why is this last one is several inches shorter than all the rest and doesn't even come close to fitting. So that's okay because I didn't buy them. Steve must have read the description of the problem and added them in for me, which I appreciate. And, I hope with the 5 it'll make a difference. So when the worms are outside, unfortunately, we got several rains. Now, I did have the top of this zipped. It was completely zipped up while they were outside. I had a water hog. It's called a water hog mat. It's supposed to, you put it on the floor where your pets go in and out, and it soaks the water off their feet, but keeps it from going through the floor. I had that on top of the zippered top. And then on top of that, I had the cover from a Rubbermaid tote. Despite that, this bin got muddy mucky. I mean, I just put some corn cobs in, but it got mucky. You see all this paper. This wasn't in there until a little while ago. And you notice it's almost empty. I have not added my buckets of worms back because everything in the buckets is completely done. And everything in this bin, except the paper I just added to absorb the wetness, is done. I added, I don't know, whatever was in the bottom of my shredder, but the further down I go, this gets really wet. And it was muddy earlier. So I had 4 ears of corn that I had in the freezer with the cobs. And what I did, that's why I'm doing this quick video, I utilized the paper shredder. So what you're seeing here is my paper shredder. These corn cobs, I put them on a cookie sheet and put them in my oven to dry them out completely. And then I folded over a section of newspaper and put all the corn cobs between it. So it shred the corn cobs. Not as fine as it shreds paper, but it did a pretty good job. So that's what they're going to get. They got their corn cobs. Now they're going to get the paper and shredded corn cobs. I mean, they got the ears of corn. These are whole ears that were in the freezer. But now they have the husks. I guess it's called husks. You can see what it did. It didn't really shred it completely while it was wrapped between newspaper sheets. But it did a pretty good job. So we're going to mix this in and try to absorb some of the wetness that is in here because it's really, really mucky. I have a feeling I lost a lot of the African night crawlers that were in here, which is disappointing, but I have a ton of African night crawlers. So if I'm going to lose worms, that would be the least damaging to my inventory. And the reason I say that is it was 43 degrees out here last night. And we had a ton of very hard but very cold rain, which, like I said, it got through the cover panel that was zip tight. And on top of that, there was a rug that water is not supposed to go through. And on top of that, I had a Rubbermaid lid sort of angling the water off. And despite that, these castings were oh so wet when I brought it in. So we'll see. It's still very, very cold, the material. hasn't warmed up yet. So the worms are still, for the most part, pretty inactive because they've been outside and without food and very cold. So we'll see what happens. They've got 4 ears of corn and the shredded husks. What I decided to do is I'm not going to dump in. I have a total of 6 square buckets. It holds scoopable cat litter for anybody that has cats and knows. They're basically 5-gallon buckets, but they're square. And that's what I used as an emergency container when this thing went down and hit the ground. And they are completely done. During the past week, those worms have gone through those bins and eaten every tiny scrap of everything. So what I think I'm going to do is get each bucket and one at a time, light harvest the worms out of it, and then just start this bin back over. And I also want to harvest most of this. I'm going to give them a few days to eat some of this paper to recuperate from the cold, wet conditions they were living in. But I do see, like right there, that's an African nightcrawler. Actually, there's 3, 4 in my hand. So maybe I didn't lose them. Maybe I got lucky. Or maybe I should say the worms got lucky, since it's their life. And that would be great. Because if I see some, then I don't see why any would have died, except for how mucky and muddy it was. I do see them. Maybe the material, that one there, you don't look so good, does it, in the middle? But, oh, is that 2 or did that worm just break in half? Hold on, I must look. No, that's actually 2, okay. So I'm seeing some African night crawlers. And if I see some, then that means the cocoons are still alive. And there are some of my African night crawlers still in here, which is a good thing. So the urban worm bag is back. I got the corner supports. What I'm not too thrilled about is, I installed them right away. You can see these white lines. Those are stress lines. They're really, it's a really tough fit to get them in here. This one looks okay. I'll move it around now because it has straps on it. Look at this one. These are stress lines just from it stretching so hard to accommodate the poles. And there's only one size corner support and only one size frame sold with this. And the corner supports were in the house, so they weren't cold, being exposed to any kind of stress. But that may be it. I mean, they may have gotten stressed a little bit as I installed them. But they should be fine here going forward, because the bin doesn't get moved. It just sits here on well, now it's going to live on the dining room floor in the corner. And it's on a laminate floor, and it's got the straps on 3 sides, minus one, because one is very undersized. So the urban worm bag is back. Thank you for everybody for encouraging me during this. I did get the corner supports with the side straps, and I don't know if that's an automatic response now when people order corner supports, if Steve doesn't also send out a set of side straps, because maybe enough people have had this problem that is going to be the configuration going forward. I don't know, because I never heard back from him in any way of communication, no text or email or on, social media response. But I got the corner straps that I didn't, the side straps, when I only paid for the corner supports. So, I paid for these, and I got 6 of these, even though one is significantly smaller than the other. And so I'll check this out tomorrow. see how the worms are looking. If they liven up, then that's great. I'm going to let them devour this corn, fully harvest what's in here completely, and start this bin brand new. And there'll be all kinds of things going in it going forward. So look for more updates. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. For all you moms out there, happy Mother's Day. I hope you had an enjoyable day today. And grandmas too. And anybody who's in a children's life. You play a role. And happy Mother's Day to you. Take care, everybody.